Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul over here, and I have been doing a lot of videos from Sweden, and especially because most of you who watch my Swedish videos have been asking for more. So whenever a community starts asking me for more videos, I tend to make more videos about it, right? Because you guys have been asking me for it. I received a few videos, and this one in particular that we're going to react to today is actually a recommendation by YouTube, and I thought it was fascinating. The title actually, because I have been reading some comments about Swedish Christmas, and now that YouTube has shown me this video, Christmas in Sweden is totally different to anything you've ever experienced or experienced before. I thought, let me check it out and let's see what this YouTuber has to say. Now, if you guys want to check out the YouTuber before my reaction, then the link is in the description. Go check his video out before you watch mine. That's how normally reactions should go. You should always watch the original first, and then go support the original artist and subscribe to them if you are interested, and then come and watch a reaction video. But anyways, guys, let's see Swedish Christmas. Do you guys think it's different? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you want to donate, here's a link, and you can send me an exclusive message. I will see it immediately. Okay, let's go. Let's see what this is all about. How is it different? Why is it different? Enjoy.
You guys, we're now just a mere few days away from Christmas, and if you're not feeling suitably merry yet, I think I've got the thing to get you in the mood. Yes, that's right, because now that I've spent 3 years living here in Sweden, I'm getting lots of questions from you guys about how Christmas in Sweden compares to where I'm from back in the UK.
Oh, this is gonna be an awesome video because I live in the UK. So I live in the UK, I know what he's talking about, and I've been here for 5 years now. Yeah, I've been here for 5 years. And he has been there for 3 years. So in 3 years, you probably can imagine, you can tell, you can learn a lot about a country in 3 years.
So today I thought it'd be fun to make a comparison video where I point out 5 of the differences between how we celebrate Christmas in those two countries. And before we get started, to be quite honest with you guys, you wouldn't have expected there to be much difference at all. I mean, Sweden and the UK are quite close neighbours, we're both North European states. You would have thought for that reason that our Christmas traditions are fairly similar. But let me tell you what, there are a lot of differences to talk about. And what really got me thinking about these differences was last Christmas when, because of the pandemic, I ended up spending my first Christmas based entirely here in Sweden, and I see that as a huge opportunity because I got to celebrate my girlfriend and her family. It's the first time I really got to adopt and welcome that Swedish Christmas tradition, and it was fun even if unplanned, and as I say, it really helped me get to grips with some of the differences and really appreciate how we do Christmas different in these two countries. And with that in mind, today I'll be presenting you guys with 5 of the biggest differences I noticed between how we celebrate Christmas in the UK versus what they do here in Sweden.
Okay.
But I would love to hear from you guys at the end about whether you agree or not. If you're also not from Sweden, what are some of the differences that you noticed when you first got here? You can let me know all of that good stuff down in the comment section below. But let's get started and talk about some of the differences that I spotted.
Okay, let's see this.
And the only place I could really start this list today is with a blindingly obvious difference to us Brits when we first arrive here in Sweden, and that's that we celebrate Christmas Day on different days. Yes, that's right, you guys will know by now because we've talked about this before, but here in Sweden they celebrate their high times or their högtider on the aftons as opposed to the dags. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, let me try and break it down. So here in Sweden they call the 24th of December julafton, which is kind of Christmas afternoon, and then on the 25th they call it juldag or Christmas Day, a bit like we do in the UK.
Okay, so julafton and juldag.
The difference being, all of the celebrations here take place on julafton or Christmas Eve. And to be honest with you, Sweden isn't alone in its preference to celebrate on the 24th. In fact, that's super popular in the traditionally Catholic parts of Europe. For example, in Spain, they still celebrate on Christmas Eve. I don't entirely know the rationale behind this, so if you guys do know, fill me in the comment section down below. But as I say, it makes for a real difference when you first arrive as a Brit, because you're getting ready to celebrate on the 25th. Your advent calendar, for example, goes up to the the 25th, all of the presents and the meal happens that day, but here in Sweden, you're celebrating a day early. And for those of you out there like me who are in a relationship with a Swede, do you not just see this as a huge opportunity? I mean, we get to celebrate twice every single year. Once on Swedish Christmas and once on English Christmas. We get the best of both worlds.
I mean, let me think about this. In my country, Brazil, I think what we do is we have dinner on the 24th, and then the next day we have lunch. So I think we kind of like do dinner and lunch. So on the 24th, yeah, probably families reunite and probably sleep over, and then the next day it's, you know, giving presents. Actually, normally they wait until midnight to actually have dinner. It's kind of like a tradition, so you kind of like wait until midnight. So technically you are having dinner on the 25th, and then the next day you open presents and you just continue the celebration. Yeah, I think that's what we do. Isn't it the same in the US? I think so. I think you have like a Christmas dinner, and then the next day you have like a Boxing Day or something like that, or Unboxing Day. I don't know what you call it. But then you know, yeah, I think it's something like that in the US.
Talking of which day we celebrate Christmas on leads me on to the second big difference that I noticed between the UK and Sweden and how we celebrate Christmas, and that's in how much time off work you get. Yes, that's right, because here in Sweden during Christmas week, you'll be off for 3 days. Okay. Yes, there are 3 red days here in Sweden, or bank holidays during that Christmas week, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. And then the following week, in the run up to New Year's, you get both the 31st, so New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day off as well. Which to me as a Brit felt like I was lucking out and I won the lottery when I first moved here to Sweden. Because
oh, you should go to Brazil. Brazil, here the thing is, in Brazil we have so many holidays, so many. I think it's double what the UK has. And there's a saying in Brazil that the new year doesn't start until February, which is after the carnival. So we have the carnival in Brazil, which is in February, sometimes early March, late February, early March, and things don't really happen in Brazil until after the carnival. Basically, things are slow in the beginning of the year, and we have so many holidays in Brazil, and they are paid holidays because in Brazil we have a lot of different things. The employers, they pay your travel allowance, food allowance. They pay you 13 salaries in a year. So you have it's kind of like a 13th salary. So you have 12 salaries plus 1. And then you also have Christmas bonus, and also companies will give you a kind of like a hamper. I mean, you know, I haven't seen this happen in any other country where the company will pay all of your expenses, and then will still give you bonus. Some companies even give a percentage of the profit, and if you're fired, for example, you get 6 months of free transport. You get 6 months of government allowance so that you can find a new job. It you know, employee laws in Brazil is so crazy. And also you get a lot of day offs, really. And then if you have a sick day, all you need is a doctor's you know, slip, and you still get paid for the day.
In the UK, we just get the 25th, the 26th, and the 1st of January. So suddenly I was getting 2 more days out of nowhere, and I couldn't think of anything better. And before you guys begin ridiculing the UK for only giving workers 3 days off during Christmas, I know how stingy, right? I have to stick up my hand here and say, you know what? It might be less days, but we do have one very important difference in our pockets in the UK, and that's that if those days fall at the weekend, they get replaced the following week. Yes, that's right. If you look at this year, for example, Christmas Day, the 25th, when we celebrate, is a Saturday, and then Boxing Day or Annandag Jul is on the Sunday. And so here in Sweden, you miss out on those holidays because they take place at the weekend. So when you go back to work on the Monday, it's just a normal day. But that's not the case in the UK. Since you miss those 2 days at the weekend, they replace them the week after. So in the UK this year, they will be getting both Monday and Tuesday off work for free as a replacement for those bank holidays they missed at the weekend. And
That's the same in Brazil. In Brazil, if a holiday is on the weekend, then the next Monday or the previous Friday is where the holiday will take place. Or sometimes they amend, and then you have the Friday off and the Monday off. So you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off in Brazil.
you guys know by now that I'm all for giving Sweden credit where its practices are more progressive and advanced than they are in the UK. I will totally point that out, call it out and give it kudos. But on this occasion, I feel like Sweden could be learning something from the UK because we never miss out on one of our red days. All throughout the year, they get replaced if they fall at the weekend. And I think that's something that Sweden needs to take note of. The third big difference in how we celebrate Christmas between Sweden and the UK is when it comes to the Christmas food. And I guess this one's a little bit predictable because it's not so weird that in different countries we have different traditional foods that we eat on our Christmas Day celebration. But with that said, I'm willing to go out there and say that I think the food in the UK is a little bit more coherent. And just to be clear here, that doesn't mean that I'm saying that the English food is better or worse than the Swedish food. I'm just saying that in the UK, we pick a theme for our Christmas food and we stick to it. So if you look at our Christmas Day celebratory meal, it's kind of like an exaggerated Sunday roast. So it's all of the usual foods that you would have on a Sunday traditionally in the UK with a brown gravy sauce on top, and then all of the Christmas extras. So we're talking pigs in blankets, we're talking kind of Christmas vegetables, stuffing, the works. And then you look at what they have in Sweden. Yes, you guys, because if this is your first Swedish julbord this year, you're going to be overwhelmed with how many different types of food there are on that table. It's basically like a huge buffet, but unlike in the UK, there is no red thread that runs throughout all of the dishes. They basically throw the kitchen sink at you and they give you absolutely everything they can find in their house. And when I've asked Swedes where this comes from, they've quite often said to me that actually the tradition comes from the fact that obviously a number of years ago, Sweden was quite a poor country, and as a result, they would kind of save up all of their luxury foods, and on Christmas, they would kind of throw it all at you because
Makes
they really
sense.
want to kind of celebrate and mark the high time. So that's how we ended up with kind of salmon, for example, right next to seal, right next to like this potato gratin with also fish inside it, and then you've got like salads and meatballs and sausages, and it's just kind of like this buffet of every single food you can dream of. So with that in mind, you can probably imagine why I was more than a little bit confused when I had my first julbord here in Sweden, because there is no rhyme or reason to why there are so many different types of food all wedged together on this table. There is no pattern, there is no kind of through story here. You're not supposed to start at one end and finish at another. It's just every kind of food they can imagine thrown together and put in front of you at Christmas. And hey, I'm not saying it's not fun to have all of your favorite foods on Christmas Day. I'm just saying it's a different way to celebrate to how we do in the UK. And talking of the
Okay, so let me talk a little bit about Brazil as well, so that you guys have a little bit of context. So in Brazil, as I said, the companies normally give you a hamper, and in the hamper, there are different types of meats. There's a turkey, there's a gammon, you know, we call it Chester. We have panettone. So basically in Brazil, the traditional food is panettone, right? Which is the panettone, especially chocolate ones, so they're the best. But if you're having like lunch, then we're gonna have potato salad with mayonnaise. We're gonna have like homemade mayonnaise. We're gonna have the traditional rice, beans. We're gonna have lasagna. We're gonna have basically that's all of them, all of the traditional foods that you're gonna eat. Normally when you have potato salad, you don't have beans, so you eat rice with the potato salad. But then you're gonna have the turkey, you're gonna have the ham. Some people have barbecue as well, but normally it's more of those type of foods. Yeah, that I can remember. I think that's all. Or some people also do the feijoada, which is the bean stew. It's bean soup with a lot of different pork chops. Like, we have a lot of heavy food on Christmas, and it's awesome.
The differences in our Christmas routines brings me nicely onto the fourth thing on this list today, which is of course the fact that here in Sweden they have a lot more Christmas traditions than we have in the UK. Yes, you guys, I've pointed this out before, but here in Sweden they seem to love their traditions. It's a super tradition rich country where they create these habits and they continue them year after year and build upon them. It doesn't seem to be quite the same in the UK. Of course we have our Christmas traditions, but the kind of breadth of them is not as big as it is here in Sweden. And the only way that I can really make this point in this video is to kind of do like a Swedish Christmas bingo. So I'm about to name a few different things that lots of Swedes will probably be doing during the Christmas season, and I guarantee that most of the Swedes watching will have to admit that they do at least 75% of these things every single year. Yes, because I'm pretty sure that lots of you out there will be having Advent fika every Sunday with your family, and if you're not doing that, you're probably going to a church celebration or some sort of choir rehearsal on the 13th of December on Lucia. And if you're not doing that,
so we have a subscriber here on the channel who sent me a few videos about Lucia, and I missed out on that. I should have done that. I think it was supposed to be done on the 13th of December, and I couldn't do it. But if you guys want me to learn about that, then I can in the future. But in any case, yeah, it's something that I didn't know about.
then it's probably likely that you're watching the Julkalender, or that on Julafton you'll be watching Kalle Anka or Donald Duck at 3 p.m.
Really?
And lots of you out there will probably be drinking glögg or julmust during the Christmas season. The list goes on and on and on. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing at all. In fact, it's super cozy and it really helps to get you into that mindset that Christmas is on the way by following all of these different traditions religiously throughout the season. But you get my point. In the UK, we just don't have these same traditions. There are some things that we do. For example, it's very common that we open the presents in the morning on Christmas Day, then we have a meal, and then maybe we sit down and watch TV with the family in the evening. But it's just not that common that we have all of these other things that we do in the lead up to Christmas.
Yeah.
So I think it's really nice. I've said before, Sweden has a lot of traditions all throughout the year, and it's fun to see them religiously following them and getting passed down through the different generations. And talking of how...
Okay, so going back to Brazil, what we do is, well, we don't have a distinct, unique type of celebration. You know, it's what I think every other country does, like the Christmas tree. I don't do that because normally, I don't know. I didn't grow up in a household where we had Christmas trees or any tradition. But many people, they would have a Christmas tree, you know, Christmas decorations. And there is just one thing that I can think of that in Brazil we have that everyone does, which is the TV specials. So there's this guy who is the king of music in Brazil, and he only performs once a year, and that's in Christmas. So that's the Christmas special. Everybody's watching the show, and yeah, basically that's it. You gather with your family, you have lunch, you give presents. Nothing really unique to Brazil, but except for this show that happens every single year.
We spend those last few precious hours on Christmas Day. This is the fifth and final thing that I notice as a big difference between what we do in Sweden and in the UK. Yes, because in the UK, if you've had your family over during the day, it's likely that in the evening on the 25th of December, you'll be having a board game night. Yes, because to most of us Brits, board games is an important part of the Christmas experience.
Really?
It's about gathering your family together, having a lot of fun, being silly, and just competing with one another. Whereas here in Sweden, it feels like board games is something that isn't very specific to Christmas. In fact, they have board game nights all throughout the year. There are people that are obsessed with board games here, who go to board game shops to buy the latest versions of their favourite classics.
I did not know that.
But I guess the jury is really out on this one, because as I said at the beginning of this video, I've only spent one Christmas here in Sweden, so I haven't got a lot of experience to draw on about what it looks like in the evenings on julafton after you've had your meal and done your presents. So maybe some of you Swedes can let me know down in the comments below, what are you doing on Christmas Day in the evening? Are you celebrating with board board games like us, or am I right and you're doing something different? Maybe watching TV or just socialising with a fika with your family? Let me know down below. And with that said, this is the final video that I'll be releasing before the Christmas celebrations really get underway. So
okay guys, so go ahead to his channel, subscribe to him, and let me talk about what we do in the evenings. Well, Brazil likes a lot of music, so basically what you do is you sit and talk and sing, probably dance, or Brazilians, they just like sitting and listening to music, singing. We could have, in certain moments, certain families, they do have board games, but we have a lot of card games. Brazilians like playing card games like truco, buraco, these type of things. We also like playing music games, like for example, musical games. Well, I don't know any musical games, but just like or charades, or that type of stuff, or dominoes. Lots of people like dominoes. What else? Oh yeah, I think basically that's it. There's something called like a roda de samba. People like going to the bar and having a roda de samba, which is like when people just sit in a circle and play samba music, or if you know how to play an instrument, they would play the instrument. I think basically what Brazilians really like, if they have like an outdoor area, is to sit in a circle, listen to music, talk, and basically that's what we love doing. They're pretty outdoorsy that way. But if you're indoors, actually you do the same thing. You kind of like, some people will rent a party section of their building. There's like a party room. They'll rent it out and call their friends over and have like a huge party, which also just consists of people coming, having lunch, and maybe dinner. And that's it, basically. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this Christmas video, which is quite late, but in any case, don't forget to like, subscribe, and here's the link for you to help out if you want to. Happy New Year. A very late Merry Christmas if you're watching this because of Christmas. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this comparison between Brazil, UK, and Sweden. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Let me know what I should react to next in the comments down below, and let me know what you do in Christmas. And yeah, take care. Bye bye.